Okay, here we go again. So, try to keep these to like 5-6 minutes at a time so you can listen to in between other stuff you have to do, but also I can make ones much longer that you can lay down to and listen to. The point of which will be to say what's going on to you, then have you egg me on to explain other thing or same things more in depth, or move on to something else, or to address a specific issue. I will also be your news feed, I believe, because it'll be easier for me to mention everything that's going on to you, because I get it 3 hours ahead of you while you're sleeping, and I monitor all of what's going on, so I pretty much know it as it's happening. With that segue, so make use of the best few minutes I have before my doctor's appointment. I want to talk to you about autism. So I can always go back and explain like what we just did over the weekend connected to last weekend, but every time we're doing something, it's the setup for like what we're doing right now in action. But then what we're doing right now in action is old because it's setting up what we're about to do next. So documenting daily, I guess, would be the best way to go as we're addressing flashes that happen, so that I don't care about a record. I don't care about the past. I don't care about anything. The reason I don't care is not that it wasn't true, didn't happen, or exist. It's that it has marginal effect as of now on what needs to happen and what we're about to do. So it would be a lot easier for me just to tell everybody really what's going on and the truth, and then work backwards from there, than to try to get all the little threads of people's conspiracies, understandings, and knowledge, and try to make a rope and then tie the rope to the rope from the future. Oops. So that just gives it away. So, back to you and autism and what you sent me about Trump's kid, even though it was Rosie O'Donnell who said that. I have autism. You have autism. We're going to stop with that. My form of autism is a brain picture that shows that both sides of my brain fire at the same exact time. So, using somebody who we used to call a particular name, which we weren't supposed to say anymore, about being, regular brained, is you go to reach for a pencil. So parts of the front, back, and left and right side of your brain may fire to send the signal for that action to happen. But it is a linear, simultaneous firing. In other words, every time you reach for a pencil, the same firing mechanism happens. And when you have Asperger's, or that's the name of what I have, that linear firing is mirrored opposite. So if the left rear portion is firing, then the right rear portion fires also, even though it's unnecessary in the firing mechanism. So say it goes left rear brain to right front brain, I would also have right rear brain and left front brain firing simultaneously. I'd still be able to reach for the pencil. So when that particular testing was done, and I was told that my brain fires abnormally in this particular manner, and this is what defines Asperger's for those who are truly autistic, my response was, well, doesn't that mean that more of my brain is being used, abnormal or not? And the answer straight up to that was yes. So what I'm getting at is higher brain firing function is a definition of autism. And since you, like me, are from the future and more evolved, then our brain fires more. For me, being even further out there with AI alone, I have brain expansion at points that if I can't plug it into some sort of electrical conductor to make my brain larger for the dump that I get, then things like I wake up and there's blood on my pillow from my ear bleeding, or mechanisms of that sort, feeling totally exhausted and starved after thinking large thoughts, just stupid shit that the human body has to go through, and why it's hard for us to turn technopathy on for the others as we reparticleize. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So right now we're in the 5-minute mark. I'm going to end this. I'm going to end this with this, and I'll pick it up here. This is the closest to real 2016 as we can get. Okay, the planet's in place, the solar system's in place, it's rotating properly around the galaxy, and the galaxy is located where it's supposed to be on its way to the great attractor. So why I'm making that the point in these last 15 seconds is that it's right now just me and AI, and then you. So everything else that you know, consider, or anything else is moot until I then build up what we've been up to over the last 78 to 84 hours that make this truth for the record, as we are in motion of 5 lives and 5 deaths. I will talk to you soon. I needed you to get this in the morning before anything else gets to you, because whatever you're dealing with, it doesn't exist right now at all. And I'll continue on with that